Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another banger High Top Sports episode. I'm in the studio with my man Steve. What's up, Steve? How you doing,
Sheldon,
Bubba?
how are you, baby? Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you, big dog. It's been a while.
Too long. We got a little out of rhythm there for a minute. We had a little travel ahead of us. We got back on, I want to say, last weekend, just to do a little quick show for the folks. But we're back on our home night, Wednesday night.
We're back. It feels good. Like I said, we missed last week. We've been sick. We're still under the weather. We could have very easily just skipped out on today because of how rough we've been. We're scratching and clawing to get back to our normal selves, but we're gonna do our best here. We got some good stuff in store. We've got Gators talk per usual. We've got some Russia talk. Not the war. Well, kinda. Not really, but kinda. We've got what else?
Fallout. Fallout hurts everybody.
Yeah, we got Gators basketball, girls and guys side. A little bit of news, Mike White stuff, and then MLB. The main thing that's happening right now. It's getting a little frustrating as a Braves fan. I don't mind it. I get to be a World Series champion a little bit longer, so I don't hate it. But it definitely sucks for sure.
Was it you that told me this weird statistic about how the last time the Braves won a World Series, there was a lockout the next year, and then this time the Braves were the World. Okay,
it was before.
There was a lockout sandwich in between a
but there wasn't even a season that year.
Oh, they canceled.
They didn't have.
Was that the one
in '94? There's no season.
Yeah.
So '94, there's no season. Braves win the World Series. 20 years pass, or so, 22 years, or what was it? Yeah, like 27 years? 26 years pass? 26 years pass. Braves won again, and they shut it down again.
They shut the thing down. It's just that's just how it is. If Atlanta wins, nobody wants it anymore.
There's so many weird nuances with the Braves winning, because the other one, there was the 3 times the Braves won the World Series, the quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, the last name was Nix. Do you remember this? So they won. Yeah. So they
Bo Nix, and then what was his dad, and then just another guy who
like some random name Nix. So now we've got the lockout happening.
You know what? We like the gene pool. We'll take you.
Yeah. So it's a little strange to me that what's happening here, but it's a little frustrating. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit. You're with the who are you? You're with the.
I'm on the player side.
You're on the player side. That's right.
It looks like the owners are being a little bit strong-arm tactics. It seems like the cards are in their favor. And from what I can read, and again, this is all conjecture from where we're sitting because we're not behind the bargaining table. It looks like the players have been pretty steadfast on what they want. It looks like the target's moving target coming from the owners, but we'll certainly talk about that.
Sure. Muddy Water said Atlanta broke the MLB. That's what it feels like.
Again.
That's what it feels like. So my frustration is, again, I kind of can see your point a little bit, but part of it too, it feels a little bit of greediness, right? I mean, it's just we're always asking for more money, and now you're costing a lot of other people who don't have the luxury to sit out for 2 months and not get paid. I mean, the guys that are arguing about this are worth millions and billions. Right? It's like, sure. Imagine the conversation, what's happening. You got these guys that are just loaded talking about pennies in a sense, not kind of thousands in reference to them. Well, you've got minor league guys that can't make any money. You're getting roasted really quick. Minor league guys that make $50,000, $60,000 a year that now are not getting paid, right? Because they're not playing any of the spring ball, which is where they start. No off season. And they're not going to play once the season starts, because I'm pretty sure they've already canceled a part of the season. And all the people that work, series, I believe, all the people that work for these games. I mean, like they're prepared for this kind of thing. We were talking about precast. I mean, this is their livelihood, and it's now being stripped away from them because everybody just wants a little bit more money. I don't like it. It's a little dumb to me. And this isn't the first. They had it here recently. It wasn't the last thing they did. Was in '95. They pushed back, I think, recent, like not too long ago. But there's always it's happened a lot lately with a lot of sports. Basketball did it recently. NFL's done it recently. It's just, when do we stop? And part of it, too, is what you said. They're noticing that they're getting bigger deals, more money's flowing through. So they're noticing, hey, the owners are making more money. Totally get that. I understand that. But you work for them. If you don't like it, go play for Japan.
Yeah, because Japan is where all the big names want to play. But at the same time, if all these big names weren't playing for the Yankees or the
Sure.
Phillies or the Braves, then those big contracts go away anyway. I mean, it's a cold war that exists, and it has in every sports league between the players and the ownership. I mean, it looks like the owners might be making a little bit more money. The players want more money. Players might be, making more than they were just based on inflation than, 5 years ago. And then the owners will change some things up. So it just always feels like it's a greed thing on top of a greed thing on top of a greed thing. So I don't think there's anybody who's right in this situation. I don't think either side really can hang their hat on their character and laurels in this scenario.
Sure.
Both of them certainly have, they could easily make some concessions that would get this whole thing over with. And like you said, it wouldn't affect the little guy, the guys who, work at the concession stands, who park cars, who work, for the actual organizations themselves, doing some of the maybe more administrative positions that go on behind the scenes. The guys who don't have those massive bank accounts and those massive contracts that are sitting back and able to just take, months off at a time. So that's the part that I agree with you on is, it doesn't matter who's really right or wrong here. It's the whole situation is just wrong. Don't do it.
Part of it too. I mean, you got the baseball comes from this point of it's always been that good old sport, right? The great American game that we enjoy watching, that you kind of represent as like, hey, a childhood, and it seems to be taken away from that a little bit, where we're not with all this arguing about money and whatnot. That hey, we're just here to play a game. You play a freaking game and you get paid millions of dollars for it, right? So that's kind of where my frustration is coming from, is that we're holding all this up over essentially a couple bucks, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, and it's essentially what's happening to college football right now is all of a sudden money became infused into the process.
Sure.
And the whole platform of the game that you love is now just a different animal altogether. And it was quick too. This wasn't something that was just kind of out there on the fringe.
It was weird.
It kind of crept its way in. It's just, you woke up one day, it slapped you in the head, and this is your life now.
Absolutely. And we got D Green 225 Gator Nation. Absolutely. We're going to get into the Gator stuff here in just a minute. We're going to go over this MLB lockout. We've got a question really quick, though. Let's go to Alex Compton here. Great show, guys. Appreciate it, man. What should Florida fans' expectations be for 2022 college football season? Is a 9-3 season good enough for Napier for a season? I think it would be. We have had this conversation a few times, man, and I agree. We've gone over the schedule. We've done the math. And there's a few on there that, we're just, that aren't, I don't think that are, hey, we have to guarantee the loss. But I think there's a few on there where, hey, we definitely should win. And there's a few that we can steal. And I think a 9-3 season would be a great first year. Because, again, Georgia ain't going nowhere. Bama's not going anywhere. Texas A&M is coming. The division's getting tougher, which is part of it too. So that's why I think that the 9-3 season is definitely more reasonable.
Yeah, we did a full schedule breakdown of Florida and Florida State. I want to say 9-3 is where we fell on the Florida side, to be really confident with some of with not only the games but where they're played.
Correct.
And
who they're playing,
the opponents and stuff. Yeah, because you got the LSU, who's always seems like a wild card. Like they could be really good, they could be coming out of it. They got a new coach, so there's a few wild cards in there. But I think 9-3 is where you and I called it.
Yep. And so then he says it would totally sell for the recruiting trail. Totally agree. And that's a good point. He said Dan never really sold those first seasons because Dan did come in hot and had a great impact. And I don't think that he used that momentum to carry over. And D Green 225 said if we beat Utah, I see us going 10-2. Utah would be a huge W because that's going to be a huge.
We said the same thing. As a matter of fact, we called that Utah game is the difference between your 10-2 and 9-3, and momentum going into the rest of your schedule.
Yep, it makes everyone a believer that, hey, we can be here and we can do this for sure. Especially that early on. Muddy Waters is asking, you got caught up by Ryan, says that's you're stupid, Steve. If you're on the player's side, you're a socialist. Muddy Waters says, do you think the smaller market owners are mainly to blame because I can't see their top tier owners wanting this? You had you had some input on that.
So, okay, the top tier owners are the ones that invest a lot of the revenue share into their team. Look, there's 4 teams off the top of my head right now that spend less money in payroll than what they get as a revenue share. Therefore, they're always going to make money, and there's no real incentive for them to invest into their payroll. It's the Pirates, the Rays, the Marlins, and the Cleveland Indians, because I refuse to call them the Guardians. But they, no matter what, they don't spend the money on payroll, so they're always going to make money in that scenario. Sure. Now, the players or the teams that are paying players that carry these major rosters also take a tax. It's a luxury tax, a competitive tax, whatever they call it. But the more money that you go over a certain threshold, and the more money that you have to pay to the league in order to maintain that roster. So it's the big teams.
So it's the small. That's why he's saying the smaller teams, because they're the ones that are like, hey, if you guys get more money, then it's just going to spread out the comp.
It just spreads to us anyway. Yes, exactly.
Makes it a little more thin. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Moving on. How about them Gators? Hold on. Let me get the sound effect.
Scared money don't make money, you know.
Got the hoodie on. Last night, the Florida Gators played Vanderbilt. Okay, old Vanderbilt in Vandy. It's a weird arena. I don't know if you've seen.
So strange. Yeah, you're below the court. You're not on it. It's you're on the opposite side.
Yeah,
like
you're on
the inside of the. Yeah,
the bleach or like the team's bench is like behind the goals, and there's no stands. It's really weird. It's super weird to watch on TV. But last night they scored. I've got it right here. 9 points in 30 seconds. Look, watching that game, I was like, Mike White is gone. We're not going to the dance. See you later, alligator. It's over. Right? I was kind of flipping off it because I was like, it's over, but let's just kind of wait and see. And then something started happening. Made a quick bucket. I think they were down by 2 or 3. And then Vandy, all Vandy had to do was get the ball in. They get the ball in. We foul, sends them to the line. They make 1 or 2, right? Then you're going back and forth playing that foul game. They pass the ball out of bounds. Florida gets it, ties it up, changes that. Obviously, now momentum. It's a tie ball game. Nothing else would happen before then happens anything else. And then obviously they go on to win. It was like 74-79, I believe, and then the score ended up being like 82-79. I could not believe. If you would have been watching at 30 seconds and I told you, hey, it's about to be 82-78, you wouldn't. There's no way you would have believed
this. Yeah, we got this. Everybody just relax. This game's already over.
Yeah.
For the good guys.
Even Muddy said
good.
Muddy says Mike White or last night win was so BS. Vandy choked that game away. They literally would have won if they waited. I totally agree. Hold on, I gotta get to Daniel Rivers in a second. Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like it was awful. Like it didn't feel good to win. But the question I also wrote here, and before I get into that, this is what Bork is saying. Mike White is the best coach in the country. Sign him for 10 more years. I feel like he's like getting riled up a little bit. But I did put on here, did Mike White save his job?
Well, look, I mean, if you go and you find a way to get Reggie Miller into a Florida basketball jersey, get him out there on the Vandy court, the guy knocks down, 9 points in 30 seconds. Do you think the Indiana Pacers ever cared that Reggie Miller had to score 94 points in 12 seconds to win a game? No, they didn't. They just won, and that's how the game ended. But the guy went out there and went bananas and knocked down like 4 3-pointers in 12 seconds.
Yeah,
a win's a win.
Everyone remembers that, though. That made Reggie Miller, though. But yes, I mean, I agree. I think the win's going to be huge because he was able to get the W, and essentially, I think that kind of clinched him. Again, there's still some time, but I think he might have saved himself. Let's get to the comments. We're getting roasted here. Daniel Riviera, every time I'm out here watching y'all with horrible outfits, easy, okay? It's sad that the best team in Florida is UCF. All right, look, I don't have really a comment because you guys beat Florida. FSU's trash, and Miami is a dog water. So I can't disagree, but I'm not going to agree. We can meet on that, I think.
Can we agree that that's how my stance is going to be? That I will not agree?
I will not agree. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Muddy says, 31 seconds left with Vandy winning by 3 with 30 on the shot clock. Vandy shot it. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they didn't want to win. Now, this was Vandy's best season in a very long time, so it wasn't no slouch of Vandy team. It was actually a pick'em game, which is a little embarrassing to Florida and to Mike White, apparently the greatest coach ever.
Sign him to 10 years.
Yeah, it's a hot topic right now on Mike White. I think everybody's hating it right now because nobody likes losing. And we talked about it last time with the culture shift and where we're headed. I don't know. I think he's done himself a good job. Saturday is going to be huge against Kentucky. That's going to be a fun one. But tomorrow, we've got Kelly Finlay. She has sealed the deal as the Florida Gators head coach for the women's basketball. She was the interim head coach. They now have taken her on as the head coach. She has led them to they're the 5th seed in the SEC tournament, which they will start tomorrow. Vandy and South Carolina played today. Vandy beat South Carolina, spanked them off the court. And now they're set to play Florida. Florida should have an easy road, I feel like. I think they have, after that, I think it's going to either be South Carolina, I want to say. There's only
double elimination?
No, not double elimination. If they win, they would move on, I think, believe to South Carolina. I can't remember exactly what the bracket
I see.
like.
The South Carolina game was.
Yeah, like the top 4 seeds, man, they get 2 buys, essentially. How like the ACC or the SEC tournament works. I'm sure the ACC is the same way. But look, women's basketball might be our savior this year because I don't think the boys are going to do it for us. The boys Gator basketball looked horrendous. It was embarrassing to watch. Like it was frustrating. Like I was hoping they'd be excited. Like, hey, we're on a little burner here. Just got the huge Auburn win. Like we're gonna be on some a good little pace. It looked rough. Everyone looked exhausted. Nobody looked like they wanted to be there. I'm not excited to see them play in the tournament, even if they are. Unfortunately.
Yeah, look. I mean, yeah, Muddy's on a roll down here. He's getting it.
He said, "I'll take Kelly as our new head coach." I mean, at this point, I don't blame you, Muddy. And he says if Florida gets blown out by Kentucky and loses their first game in the SEC, Mike White will be gone. I don't disagree. I'm not going to agree, but I agree to not agree.
To not agree, and that's my stance.
Yeah, it's just what's out there. We've had this conversation. I don't want to keep beating no dead horse, but. Here we go. Daniel River back at it again. Florida signed Dan Mullen, a.k.a. Clown Mullen, and look what happened. Basketball Gators will not be Kentucky. They be getting by. Daniel Riviera just not holding any punches this afternoon, I see.
He came in on a Wednesday evening ready to roll. He
did. It must have been a rough day. Daniel, gas prices are soaring through the roof. I understand the hostility.
The price of milk is just killing us right now.
Yeah.
It's me and you both, Daniel.
Yep. I feel it. Oh, my gosh. Ryan just comes in here with the nonsense. Calling it right now, Gator basketball is winning the Natty this year. Look, anything happen in the dance.
Baseball. He said
baseball. Oh, sorry. Gator baseball.
That's not even a reach.
Hey, they just swept this past weekend. I don't disagree with you on that. I actually have right here, I have set up for us to go over the softball team because they are 16-0. Ranked 4th in the country right now. Coming off a burner, 16-0. Softballs might win a Natty too. Look, like I said, everything is getting up and going.
Yeah, so they've been playing for 2 weeks in softball right now?
Yeah, 16-0.
How long the season's been going?
Something like that. Maybe a little bit longer. Yeah, 16-0. Rank, and look, softball's always been pretty solid for the Gators, so I'm excited about them. And I think Gator baseball is going to be going to be a threat this year too. I love the College World Series. At least they're not in a lockout. They're going to be here. And right now,
they'll be there for it.
I feel like ESPN saw the writing on the wall before anybody else because they signed that deal with everybody and put them on. They're going to be hosting all college games now. ESPN is. So I think they kind of felt they saw what was happening with the MLB and said we got to get something to put on TV. So they signed that deal.
I fixed it, Bork. I fixed it. I got it done.
What happened? Oh, baseball.
He was correcting you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we're a little delayed, I think, with you guys. That's my bad. I'm reading too fast. Let's see. God, Daniel is he's still here. He's not going anywhere.
I love him.
1 point versus Auburn. Should have lost to Vandy. Neither of those are incorrect. Florida might win with that solid swimming team. You spelled soiled? Is that what I meant to say? Soiled swimming team? Man, this guy is on one.
Show me on the dolly where the dirty Florida touched you, Daniel.
Yeah.
My gosh. He's got a grudge.
Yeah.
Got a grudge.
So, moving on from some Gator stuff. Again, it's kind of quiet right now. Oh, real quick. I actually do have some news. Montrell Johnson, running back for the Gators. He is a transfer from Louisiana. I was reading an article just the other day, and for the spring game, for Spring Talk is that Montrell Johnson is going to be the favorite to start for Florida because of his history with Billy, right, that he's going to be the first guy they look to, especially with Naquan coming off his injury. Not sure he'll be ready yet for the spring game. So because of the familiarity, I think they're saying Montreal's going to get to start. Now, I'm not saying he's going to hold it or he's going to own it or win it or any of that stuff. But he's going to. It's the sounds of it is going to be he's going to be the first guy we see on the field with Naquan being possibly still in his injury phase.
Well, look, I mean, especially in spring ball, you don't have a lot of time to get the kids acclimated to a new offense. Even the position coaches are still learning, the skill sets of the guys that they've got, that they're going to line up. So having a player that has played for you, knows the verbiage, knows the play calls, understands how to get people lined up, that kind of player, even if he may not be the most athletic, but that kind of player on your football field in spring, huge. It's great. And because then they can meet outside of the training, they can meet outside of practice. He can bring so much more away from the football field that isn't even considered a team function, just in a player huddle per se. But that kind of stuff is invaluable, and it goes a lot further than you think. It's just one of those intangibles you can't quite put a figure on.
Sure. And Muddy's got 2 comments here. Pump for spring football. Me as well. It's going to be exciting to see these guys play. I mean, we've been talking about it for so damn long at this point. It's like we're ready to see what all the hype's about, right? I just want to see these guys on the field. NFL Combine and the Heat games, absolutely. Heat's looking good in basketball, by the way. Number 1 seed. He said he read today that AR will be out of all spring games. And that will be huge for Miller and Emery. Look, our 2 Dark Knights are making a little run here. We got some flack for it. When we posted it. Everyone was laughing at us saying we were dogs. We find ourselves in this position a lot. But here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Weeks later. Yeah, we never do the I told you so thing, but we'll definitely come back on this podcast and tell you that
we remind you. We're not gonna let you forget. That's for sure.
Sons in 4.
Sons in 4. Mom, sorry you're late. No worries. All right, we got Daniel River. He goes, "How about them dogs? Just not in basketball. If you're new, look at this man. Look, Daniel's back on the train. If you're new to the channel,
welcome back.
Hit the like and subscribe. Love the trash talk and talking facts about sports. Hell yeah, baby.
There it is.
Daniel's the man. Daniel says Georgia has 14 players in the NFL Combine. Look, that team was a stud team. We had Daniel, if you're new to the channel, on Sunday night we went over the top teams, the greatest college football teams of all time. Go check it out and see where your dogs made it. See how far they went along. The 21 championship team, how far they made it. Moving on, Chelsea is for sale. Okay?
Cool.
You guys got $2.9 billion lying around. Give them a ring. They're looking for some buyers.
My goodness. As if anything else could go wrong for Russia, their oligarch, Roman Abramovich, who bought this team for $187 million, which is no scratch of amount of money. Like that's a decent amount of cash. Yeah, in 2003. And he's now turning down offers for somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.5 billion. Like, not going to be enough for me. It's unbelievable, but of course he's caving to pressure because of what's happening to Russia in the sports world, and there's no support for any Russian athlete right now. As a matter of fact, and Bork, if you're still on, I just saw that CCM Hockey, the equipment and apparel brand, will no longer support Russian star and Washington Capitals left winger Alex Ovechkin. He is no longer allowed to wear the CCM Hockey equipment.
Kind of messed up that he's getting the flack from this. Let's hold on. I don't want to get into that just yet, real quick. But people, I don't know if you know this. Conor McGregor is in the talks for buying Chelsea football team. Now, I don't know how great pay for UFC and selling whiskey is, but I might start fighting.
Right. I mean, if I got to go 8 rounds with,
if I can be in talks, I'll give it a shot. If I can be in talks to buy Chelsea. What's up, bro? We're doing it wrong. Gator football is not the path. Sports is not the. We're on the wrong side of sports, boys.
We're not going to be here next Wednesday, guys. We're going to become professional fighters. We're gonna see if we can't pool our money together and get on this Chelsea talk.
Daniel Riviera, Florida would take Kirby Smart any day. I would take him in a glass of water. Okay.
Yes. I would take him on a date and buy him a very nice steak dinner. And as a football coach.
Muddy coming with the heat. Love Georgia fans. And I remember witnessing Florida win our first championship. And again, talk to when you win more than 1 in 50 years. Woo! Fight words right there. Look, I usually would be on this train, but they just won. And speaking right here, right, with Braves just winning, I always ask, when's the last time you guys won? Ain't no way. I can't really support that. So speaking of Russia, oops, wrong one. Russia can't catch a break.
My gosh. It's when one domino falls here in the
when it rains, it pours. It feels like that lately.
The IOC, the Olympic Committee has kicked Russia athletes out of all Olympic competition as a whole. No more of this coming in under a faux flag and doing your real steroids while you're holding up your fake flag. You're out.
Oh, so they can't, nobody can play.
None of them. The Russian athletes as a whole are out.
Wow.
Yeah. The ROC. You can't come in here as a Russian with your ROC when we know that you're still just Russian and you just hold up a different flag. Okay, now we get it. Now we get
Russia has really secluded themselves from the entire world. Somebody took a black belt from the man. What happened? Tell me about that, Steve.
Oh my God! I mean, this is like you said. When the dominoes start to fall, they just fall left and right. Putin has also had his black belt, his honorary black belt, stripped by the World Taekwondo Association, which was awarded to him in 2013. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The World Taekwondo Association has made their stance. They will no longer
we will be heard.
Putin. We will no longer allow Putin to keep this belt that he did not earn. It was an honorary belt. Like the guy didn't do Taekwondo.
And now they were set to hold the World Cup, and now they have stripped the World Cup from them, and they're not allowed to participate. Now, it's probably best we don't go send a bunch of people over there anyways, but they've taken that, and they're not allowed to play either. So, okay, here's what I don't like about that. I don't mind them taking it away from Russia, but you're impacting the players. They're not making this call. I don't know if you saw the other day, but the Russian tennis player wrote on the camera like "No more war." You're affecting people that, I get it, they're part of Russia, but they're not part of this.
Sure. I think what they may be doing is they have the foresight to not allow the Russia
exactly what Muddy just said
play-in game.
Muddy just said the same thing. If they're not even supporting it, why are you going to ban them from that? I totally agree with that. Like if you're, I'm not a fan of that at all. Like I kind of respect some of the, taking the belt from Putin. That's fine. Like that's an individual. He's the one causing this. Russia as a whole from the Olympic Committee, I'm actually okay with that because they kind of burned their bridge. So that's bad. They had an opportunity and they didn't care. So I'm fine with that. That to me, no problem. But banning them from the soccer, banning them from Ovechkin getting that crap, that's ridiculous. You're reaching on that point. That is way too. That'd be like if Dana comes out and says, "Hey, like all Russian fighters, you guys can't fight anymore." Like what? Even honestly,
would it surprise you at this point?
I mean, no, but even if they did support the war, like they're supporting their country. Like I respect that. As an owner of the UFC, you're trying to like the Ultimate Fighter champion. Now you're not saying of the world, but I feel like you have to. You kind of carry that presence of like, hey, this is the world championship of fighting, and you have to kind of appreciate both sides of that. You know what I mean? So
I get it. Well, look, like we said, the hits don't stop there. Also, the volleyball world governing body, that is the FIVB, in case you were curious, has canceled the men's world championships, which were due to be held in Russia in August and September. So all of you volleyball fans out there, sorry to tell you, you're not going to be seeing it in Russia.
Dang, I thought we were going to stream that too. That was going to be our big break.
Look, I mean, that's not even to be one thing, because the Badminton World Federation, that is BWF, has also suspended any athletes from Russia or Belarus from competing in any events. And nothing will be staged in those countries. So between volleyball, badminton, and your honorary Taekwondo black belt being taken away, I just don't know what's left to take from Russia.
Honestly, I don't think it's
their pride.
I don't think we should poke the bear. Okay, the guy clearly gives zero fucks on what anybody thinks about him. Why are we going to continue to piss him off? But here we are.
Just come. Let's see how many times I can poke him before he'll shoot me.
Daniel Riviere, I love this. Let's get this going. It's too early for college football talk, but at the same time, it's never too early for college. Daniel Riviere, UGA is the Alabama in the East. Sure. Texas A&M will always fall short. Okay, listen, I don't know. Jimbo coming in hot. No, easy. And Florida will always fall short to Georgia. Remember, Florida fans were happy almost beating Bama. You listen, Daniel, you're not wrong about that. I remember coming on the podcast the following 2 or 3 days yelling, "We want Bama!" There's a video titled one of these where we were wrong, saying, "Is Florida the real deal? Like, are they destined to be great?" That was kind of the idea of the entire video. We were not. We got it wrong by a long shot. we felt like we had a curse for a little while on how we were handling our business.
Yeah, I mean, but look, in that game, let's call it what it is. You finally got like a real shot to see AR-15 against a top flight defense, and he played well. He
didn't play against Bama.
I thought
no, that was the game they sat him. That was the game they sat him when Emory came in. We thought Emory was going to be our guy. We were locked in because he got hurt during the USF game. Put a little hammy.
That's right.
Ooh, Muddy throwing flames. I love this. Didn't A&M with the third string quarterback just beat Bama? He's not wrong. He's pretty spot on. I think A&M is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Here's my prediction: Texas A&M is going to be the next Georgia of the East. So for a while now, for a very long time, Georgia has kind of been the armpit of the East. Not the, you know what I mean? Like they always kind of got shitted on. They always would fall short up until this season, and they would win a few, but never could get it done. That's been Texas A&M for a while. They've just been on like that cusp of like, hey, we're ready to be great. We've won some big games, but they haven't made it to the dance. And I think they're closer than we think. No take on that?
No. Well, I'm going through the
comments
here. Yeah, it's almost distracting, but this is great.
AR-15 will transfer. Why do you think that, Daniel?
Whoa, that's a bold move right there.
That's crazy. I mean, look, there's a lot of people in that room, so it wouldn't be crazy to think that
no,
he's like, I can see.
That is a very talented quarterback room.
Yeah, it looks too busy, and if he feels threatened, he could take the slide for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Breaking news: the World Archery Association has just banned Russia from all events.
I can't tell if you're like trolling me a little bit or if like it actually just happened. Because you've been hitting
just on the list of all the things.
Oh, okay.
And I just saw it. And I'm like, no way, that can't happen.
I love
archery, no.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been good to be back. Again, Steve and I have been sick. We've been fighting a cold. We are still fighting. We are literally just trying to plow through. We appreciate you guys with the shit talk tonight. We appreciate you guys stopping by and being here. We always do. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000. We're so close. I can smell it. My prediction, we were going to be there by March. Steve was a little bit later, so Steve, your bet's still alive.
It's early, baby. It's early. You never know.
Still early.
It takes one of these puppies. It only takes one of these guys to just be like, you should see this dumb shit we say to these guys, and they love it.
Yeah,
We'll just get a bandwagon.
Look, if you guys just want to come and just shit on us for an hour, we're here for it. You know what I mean? Like, we're at this point, we're conditioned to it. So, be back here next week. Every Wednesday, we go live at 8:35. Until then, I'm Sheldon.
And I'm Holly.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. He said, feel better and get rid of the FSU hat. Peace and love. Go Dogs. Go Gators, baby. Love you, mama.